I'm just waiting for people to come in. I am excited about 15,000 subscribers, guys. You'll have no idea. Holy crap, it has been somewhat of a journey. I don't know if this just actually started, but I don't know when it started or when it not. But what I'm saying, I'm just waiting for people to come in. Guys, 15,000 subscribers over a little over 2 years now. It has been quite the journey, just quite the journey, honestly. I agree with you. I'm not really excited about it, honestly. But you know what? I'm gonna take it in stride. I know a lot of people I talk to on here, they're in somewhat of the same boat. Like, everyone's going to have to evolve. Everyone's going to have to come up and think about different content. I am in no shortage of ideas, honestly, but at the same time, it just is what it is. If you can't think about a way to evolve and keep making content, it might not be as frequent, and that's the problem. I mean, I'm sure people will keep making content, but it's not going to be as frequent. Mine probably won't be as frequent. I probably won't be able to get daily uploads. But guys, I'm going to try my dangdest. I'm going to try my dangdest to get daily uploads. And yeah, like I'm really hoping that I'm hoping that it just this year is going to be sad, but it's also going to be a year to push forward, trying to evolve, trying to do everything. You guys know I've been working on my pitches a lot more recently. I want to start doing those, especially a big one every month. And one thing I'd really like to do, and I always thought this is like one of the things I wanted to do from the very beginning of my channel, but it always felt like an ever-expanding story was super, one every week. There was no way to actually get ahead of it without doing something kind of fan art-y or like fan fiction-y, which is what it is anyway. Like, I'm not denying that, but I'm going to, one thing I really want to do is I want to go and do like a short series, not short series, it'd be a long series, but figure out a way to rewrite Super like episode for episode. Like, if you like, or small arc, like every 5 episodes, just rewrite it really quickly in a nice like 10-minute video. Like, here's the first 5 episodes, here's 6 through 10, here's 11 through 15, that type of stuff, where I break down the Battle of Gods arc, the Gods No F arc, the Champa arc, the Future Trunks arc and Goku Black stuff, and then the Tournament of Power, and all the slice of life episodes in between. So if Super is really only going to be about 131 episodes, I would like to do enough of these to do 131 episodes, but rewrite it with all the same major plot points, but like how it should have been, how I really wanted it to go through the whole time. So yes, you still have the Tournament Power, yes, you still have Goku Black and the Champa arc stuff and all the other things, but yeah, I feel like it could have been better. I feel like this series could have been better. I'm still a fan. I've had so much fun watching it, and this is such bittersweet news that I'm still kind of reeling from it, I'm sure a lot of us are, but I'm really hoping that it comes back. I mean, obviously we got the movie to look forward to. Everyone's going to be thinking about the movie for a long time, and then we got a lot of stuff to keep talking about. I mean, Dragon Ball Super is not going anywhere. Dragon Ball in general is not going anywhere, and I hope everyone knows that. I mean, I know a lot of people in the fan base, in the content creating side, like a lot of people are going to start dropping off, start thinking about other things and all this other stuff. But I mean, just it is a kick in the butt, for us content creators and also y'all as fans. Like, who do you really like? Who are you gonna follow? And who's making content that you want to see? This isn't something like a weekly show anymore, hiatus, couple months, whatever. We need to, like, all of us, myself included, we all need to start thinking outside the box and doing stuff that you guys want to watch. And hopefully, you stick around and keep supporting and everything, because that's really the only reason we do this. So one of the things I'm thinking, I'll just say this, if you've been around for a long time, and since we're celebrating 15,000 subscribers, we could talk about this. Because Kanji's back, we're going to start bringing back the debates. Now, obviously with YouTube's new rules and stuff, those debates, and I'm wondering if it's going to affect my channel, honestly, because those debates are so raunchy. They're so funny. If you haven't seen them, just go. There's a whole playlist of them. You can go bring them. They're really fun to look at. And yeah, we're gonna bring those back. One of the things that we want to do, probably, I want to do like who's sexier, Android 18 or Android 21, and we're just gonna go ham on that, like him and me. If you guys don't know what it is, like we just go in, we have arguments on either side, we kind of debate each other, and we have our hashtags. So we have funny hashtags that you can go down to the comment section below if you agree with us and put them in the comment section below. Share your thoughts and opinions on that. Really fun, long-form conversations. I'm sure everyone who's listening or has listened to them really likes them, and they would like for them to come back in some way. So this is a grand opportunity to bring the debates back, if nothing else. So I can't wait to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've been here since 5K. I bet you'll be reviewing Super again in a year. Again in the year's time at 30K. I really, with this hiatus thing, I agree, man. Adrian, I agree. I think that Super is coming back. I mean, not Super, but this is going to be like Dragon Ball to Z or Z to GT or something like that. We've done this before. We've had this before. And even though this series ending, I'm sure they're going to find a way to just keep the story going. And, honestly, I haven't done my video for tomorrow. But with this news coming out and being verified, of course, there had been rumblings for a very long time, especially if you talk to the people I talked to. So there have been rumblings. Nobody was really sure one way or the other, but we all kind of knew. And I think it's time to really start discussing this stuff, start discussing what we want, what's the possibility, what's the future, thinking about this stuff, and just evolving our content. Like I keep saying, I think it's really awesome. It is not my birthday, but okay. Hopefully I can get like someone in here. I was talking to MJ and he's asking me if I wanted to record like 30 minutes ago. I told him give me 20 minutes and then he doesn't get back. Excuse me. He didn't get back to me, so I'm going to ask him if he wants to join this stream. I fixed the problem we had last time for anyone who was here last time. Every Dragon Ball YouTuber on the live stream. Oh, are we? Is that like who else is live streaming right now? 1 second. I want to join my stream. Is Danny streaming? I haven't seen. Who's streaming? Tell me. Dude, MJ and I are broskies. I don't know why everyone's saying happy birthday. It's not a birthday. It's just congratulations. Like it's just me. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's listening, and thank you to everyone who has been in the stream. Now that we're in the weekend, I can finally get in touch with the people who won the competition the other day. See, MJ's in the stream. He won't come in and talk to us. That's hurtful. That's hurtful, MJ. Anyway, I need to figure out a way to get fighters to the people who won the fighters games and everything. You guys want MJ? You guys want MJ to come in here? Hopefully he can come. Just tell him in the chat. You wanted to come in here because I'm hoping that he will. Oh wait, okay, we're calling him. Hopefully he comes in. I'm not gonna have the same problem that we did last time, I think. Big congratulations on 15K. I really am looking forward to bringing back the debates. What's up? Talk?
Hello.
Yay, they could probably hear you. I
hope they can.
I see that your audio is picking up on my thing, so tell me if you guys can hear him.
All right.
Okay.
That's cool. Oh, by the way, congrats on 15K, man. Congrats on. I'm like bowing down to you right now, bro.
Oh, bull crap.
No, I am. I'm bowing down to you right now, bro. I'm giving you that praise. That's what's up, man.
I appreciate. I really do. Yeah, dude, it's been like a journey. Like if we can get like real for everyone who's real to real right here for everyone who's listening, it's like it has been quite a journey, man. Like this whole ever since like you and I met, and I've told you this in private. I've said it on Twitter a whole lot. I'll say it to everyone listening here, man. Like anyone who likes my content anyone who likes the fact that I upload as much as I do or anything else like that, y'all all have MJ to thank. I wouldn't be at the level I am now. I wouldn't be the YouTuber I am now, and I wouldn't be as confident about monitoring and guess using my channel as much if it weren't for MJ and my friendship with him. So I'm really glad that you can join me on this stream, man.
Hey, man, stop it with that, bro. What are you doing? Come on, man. But yeah, yeah, I'm happy to be here. And again, congrats on 15K, man. Long time coming. In fact, I'm gonna say it right here. You should be at way more.
Oh,
just saying.
You know, this is something like we don't have to go into specifics. I wouldn't say that we should go into specifics, but you know, I think a lot of people here would also want to hear this, and we have this community, you know, that not only I've built but you've built, and you know, frankly, if you look at our community, like we built together for the most part, people like you and and I think a lot of people want to know, like I said, no specifics, but just reaffirm to people that we're not going anywhere. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
Super might be ending, but we ain't going nowhere. So I hope that helps people.
No, man, we're not going anywhere. I mean, me and you've already talked about this. You know what I mean? Like the possibility if it did, and I mean, a lot of channels will suffer. That we're not, you know, beating around the bush. A lot of channels will take a hit.
Our channels might suffer.
But yeah, we're gonna take a hit, but we're not going anywhere. We're still gonna make content.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the thing is I was just saying before you came in and before a lot of people came in, it's all about, you know, I've been saying on Twitter, it's all about evolution. It's you gotta think different things, and that's the thing. Like I feel like you're gonna start, like, for the fans of Super, especially the fans of the people who create content like you and I do. You know, this is gonna be like the fire under our ass that is going to push us to do stuff that's not just discussions or not just game-based content. I mean, of course, the game-based content stuff is probably going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even you think about, like, people like Danny. Danny's going to go back to making some of those epic, like, his epic things. Not really, he won't have, you know, he's going to start posting his in-depths more and all the other series that he started with. It's going to be great. And I'm really hoping to do more pitches. I was just saying I want to bring back the debates. We've never had you on a debate, so we need to get you on the debate. Maybe even a Suican half hour with Kanji. That would be great too. I wanted to do that. Like I was telling you, I've been telling you for about a year now. I've been wanting to do a Suican half hour with Dragon Ball Evolution, like you know, just you and me on Facecam watching it together, just like. Just having a couple brews and like just laughing our asses off. That would be great. That would just be awesome.
No, yeah, man. I would see, because you said it earlier. You said it when I was coming into the stream. We have to adapt. You know what I mean? And just because we're not gonna have, you know, Super on Saturday and then the breakdowns on Sundays, you know, the discussions we get from those episodes, there's still a lot of content that we can do and that we actually want to do moving forward. Like I'm actually gonna get caught back up with My Hero, and I'm gonna start, because I love My Hero. I've done videos on My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero, on my channel before. I've done those videos, and they've I don't want to say they flourished, but they did well. So I'm obviously gonna bring that back. I'm gonna have more time to do that. I can read those chapters weekly and cover them. You know what I mean? Because that's a show that I really do like a lot. Like, it's one of the shows that's come out like in this era that I really do love. So that there's gonna be more of that. The versus battles are gonna continue, and obviously with me and you, we're still gonna do discussions. You know, there's a lot. Let me say this. Guys, there's a lot of stuff that like Real to Real, Golden Scouter, and I have not done yet, like on Z and GT, like just discussions and theories on that stuff. You know what I mean? Me and Scouter, Golden Scouter, Kevin still need to do our part 2 to the what if Gohan turned into a Super Saiyan, you know, in the Saiyan arc. So there's a lot of videos that we still need to do, you know.
Yeah, of course, and you know, I've been also working on. I've been telling people this, although I haven't really been telling specifics. I'm going to be working with Danny on my, not really a what if, like I don't want to say it's a what if, because what I kind of tend to want to do is like rewrites really, but I've told some people, you know, I got that 13-page script to Danny the other day. That was so annoying to write. It was so long, and I'm not good at it. A lot of people have always asked me, so, oh, like write a manga or something, and it's something I'd really want to do. If you want to say like, what are your aspirations on YouTube? I've said it so many times before. It's like, I would love to get into a position where I could finance my own manga and just distribute it, not like give it out for free, but hire artists and stuff to like do this because I have ideas that aren't Dragon Ball related, but I like, oh, write your own manga, write your own thing. So I've always wanted to do that. It's been so difficult, and I'm really hoping, with this, it's going to be the thing that really gets me back in the mood to do it. And something's like, well, I need the content coming out, and I have this idea. I've been sitting on it for far too long. Why don't I just sit down and write it up and get that recorded and get it out to everyone who wants to listen to it? So, 13-page script, pretty extensive breakdown on why I believe in what the story would be if Gohan had actually gone back into the past in the Cell games arc and the Android Saga and all this other stuff, and why it makes sense to have him there. And there's some very significant changes in that. First of like one being, there is no father-son Kamehameha wave. There is there's a father-son dynamic between future Gohan, Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta, where the whole story is revolved around shoring up his relationships with all three of those father figures that he'd had throughout his life.
Yeah.
There's relevance to his sword and the loss of his sword. That was one of the things that always pissed me off about the Android arc, is when Trunks breaks his sword and then he just basically has it again. Like he keeps doing that, but like he breaks his sword in between the fight with 17 and 18, and I thought, oh man, like there always needed to be like some emotional thing there, but we never got any idea what the sword was actually about.
Yeah, more impact behind that,
Yeah, because it was like a part of his character. It still is a part of his character. I mean, just look at all the video games. It doesn't matter what skin you have on him. He could be in his Saiyan armor with the freaking sword. So it's a part of his character. It's part of his moveset. He needs to have a reason for it. So if you have Gohan go back, there's an immediate reason for it, and the breaking of that, and to me, in the way I wrote it, is like the impact of that breaking is symbolic to the next step and Piccolo's evolution in that arc and all this other stuff. Like, not to give it away, but that kind of gives it away. But the thing is, like, there's just a lot there that could have been explored. So that's what I want to do. I want to sit down and write my own pitches on all this stuff when it comes to the hit special. I have the hit special I've been writing up. Got the first scene done. It's like 3 pages long because I really had a lot to say on that, and that, to me at least, started as a hit special. Remember, you and I'll let you speak to this a little bit because it's a real fun story. But you and I, when we first met, you were like, dude, I don't know about you, I don't know about anyone else, but I have this awesome idea for a hit special. And you don't have to go into detail, but that was a funny little moment. Like, it was like one of the first conversations we had.
It was a funny coincidence. Didn't I tell Kanji first?
No,
And then
no. I told you to ask Kanji and Nathan because I had already pitched it to them.
Okay. Yeah, it was a funny coincidence that we had like the same, very similar idea to a Hit backstory. That because I'm not the biggest fan of Hit, but I still like him, especially at the Tournament of Power. I feel like Tournament of Power Hit, looking back at his character, is awesome. But at the time, I wasn't too much of a fan of Hit, so I kind of wanted to expand more on the character, even if it was my own like headcanon and my own theory. So when me and you first started talking, and you're still kind of called the theorist, the theory guy. So at the time I proposed that to you and we talked about it. We have very similar ideas to the backstory, the origin of Hit before he became the legendary assassin of Universe 6. And it's kind of funny. And the more that I look back at that, Mark, the fact that we had that similar idea and the fact that it happened the way it did, I think, and maybe I'm going a bit out of, maybe left field here, but I feel like that kind of started a little I don't know, like, I think that may have started the dynamic duo. I think we kind of felt something that was special there. We clicked, not to sound gay or anything, but we did very well like click that night, and then ever since then we've made nothing but great videos. Even if some people don't agree with the theories that we've put out, every time we do a video, or at least 99% of the time we do a video, we look back at it and say that was really, really good. Let me send you the audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you know,
the way we bounce off each other too is just amazing. You know?
yeah, I completely agree, man. It's really really special because I mean, you people could say what they want, like you said about our theories and all this other stuff. I've said that over and over again. I think you and I are very transparent about it with videos, although some people don't seem to, take it that way. Is this is just a theory? It's a speculation. It's like just an idea of what could potentially happen, going off of things they've said, things that have happened in the series, and also things that would be cool, dramatic, and a great way to pick up the pace or the drama that's happening with each individual episode. And that's to me, like, that to me is the thing I'm going to miss a lot about Super ending, this hiatus, whether they start a new series. And as I already said on this stream, I think this is going to be just a hiatus. I can't imagine them not bringing it back at some level. This is like going to be Dragon Ball to whatever Z is next, you know? So I'm really hoping that that's the case at least, but I'm going to miss that for a while because it was nice. And I told you this the other day. When we were talking about this. When it comes to Dragon Ball, when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, when it comes to GT, and when it comes to Super, you can say what you want. You can talk about quality all you want. But Super has been and will always be the best series in this show to me. It's not the most well written. It's not even the best anime or even the best Dragon Ball show. It's just this community, this YouTube channel, the friends that I've made here, the people I interact with, the people who come in and listen to us on this stream late at night, just constantly every single day, who want to interact, who want to hear our weird, wacky fan theories, who want to hear, the spoilers or breakdowns, what's going to happen in the next episode. Let's play the games, let's do all this other stuff. It is the most special thing about Dragon Ball Super right now. And the only sad thing, the saddest part of the series ending at this point is we're going to lose that. We're going to lose a huge chunk of that. Content creators are going to switch over to something else, whatever works for them. And then also the audience, because it's not every week, maybe some of them might drop off. Not all of them, obviously. People still enjoy the show and they know it's going to come back in some way, especially with the movie coming out. But I'm going to be sad to see that go. I really am. I wish it could be another way, but heck, this is just a really good opportunity for us to grow, to evolve our content and find ourselves outside of this medium just for a little while, hopefully, and hopefully come back and stronger for it, honestly.
Well, I mean, you are right because people in the chat are already saying triggered or like real please. See, I think what people have to understand, what we're talking about here, is that yes, Super is not the most well written show. It's not even the most well written show within the Dragon Ball franchise. You know what I mean? You could argue that I argue all the time, the 22nd to the 22nd tournament, 22nd tournament through the 23rd tournament is the best Toriyama's ever been. That's my opinion, though.
Oh yeah, but what I'm gonna say, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there.
Well, what I was gonna say is that it's funny because even though you could argue Dragon Ball is the best written portion of the whole entire Dragon Ball story, and in the franchise, that first portion of the story, or you can argue, the whole Tanami days and be nostalgic for Z. What I'm gonna like looking back at it now, even though I did watch, Dragon Ball Z on Tanami and stuff, when I look back at it, I'm gonna be I'm talking like 10 to 15 years from now, I'm gonna be very nostalgic towards the first portion of Dragon Ball Super, because if they do bring it back, next year or like in 2020 or whatever, if they do bring it back and they continue it, and it's even if it's even a better told story, if it's even better animated, if Takahashi's doing every freaking episode, even if it looks better and if it's a better told story, I'm still gonna be more nostalgic, and I'm probably gonna say I love the first portion of Dragon Ball Super more because of the fact that I met you through here. I met Danny through Dragon Ball Super. I met all these wonderful people. Kamea-con, the community, it's been thriving. Yes, I understand some portions of the community can be cancer at some points, but the overall, like just being there on a Saturday night and just be, alive through that week of what's gonna happen next, and all the memes and all the theories and all the funny tweets. I'm gonna look back when I'm older and say that's probably the most nostalgic time for me because of everything that's happened, the YouTube channel and everything. You know what I mean? So Super will, again, you can hate the show, you can call it whatever, a piece of doo doo or whatever. To me, it's still gonna hold a very special place in my heart. And it does make me sad that it is coming to an end, or at least gonna go on a break.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Like it's so weird because like we talk about this with such emotion. Of course, at this point, we have no confirmation of another season or another series or whatever you want to call it, but we look at it as if it's ending for good. It's probably not the case, and we've been so spoiled, content creator wise, and also the community have been so spoiled to have it basically every single week. Yes, some hiatuses here and there with, okay, we're taking a week or so off just because of a holiday or something, but we have one every single week. It's just what the way the show works, and when it goes away, it will be no different than probably any other like American TV show. Like if I were to cover The Walking Dead at great length, or I have on my other channel covered American Horror Story or something, that show goes away for like months, like half a year, if not more, and you just have to kind of sit and twiddle your thumbs until they give you more content to talk about. Until then, it's pretty dry, and maybe the same thing happens where there's not a whole lot to talk about and there's not a whole lot to do other than just try to be thinking outside the box and something like that. And but I agree with you. That's why it's really sad is we're going to see a whole lot of drop off here. I have a lot of friends, I know you do as well, who have been talking very recently even about wanting to uproot their current moods, especially with YouTube's new changes where it's taking away a whole lot of the content creator things. Like the whole 4,000 hours and 1,000 subs rules gotten a lot of people down, but a lot of content creators really looked at that the other day and was like, I am going to take this as motivation to do better and to drive forward. And now we're getting this news, and I'm just thinking that there's going to be several smaller content creators that you and I talk to very frequently who already don't have the drive, as it were, to make the content, and now they're not going to have as much content to even go on because we don't have those series and the series going on every single week. And I feel like that's a shame. I want those people to find their footing with Dragon Ball, as I'm sure you and I have, and being able to discuss other things. Mine with my other channel, with doing the pitches and all this other stuff. You with your Twitch stuff and the gaming and the wrestling. I mean, and I'm all over the place, but you know what I mean. Like there's nothing more exciting, nothing more amazing than YouTube, in my opinion. I've said this a lot, and I keep saying it, where this platform has given me my voice. It's made me see like the confidence in my own perspective that I hadn't seen throughout my entire life. And when if not for Super, if not for this series, and yeah, I've seen people in the comments right now talking. It's like, oh, you like Super better than Z or Dragon Ball or GT or whatever. You're just going off of pure emotion. It's like, well, yeah, of course I am, but it's also logical. Like I have found myself watching Dragon Ball Super through doing this more than I ever have in any other passion or obsession or project that I've ever done, because I did YouTube for myself, and the backbone of it, the way that I got comfortable sitting in a room talking to a mic, talking to someone else on Skype or anything else like that, or Discord, was through Super. And if I'm going to move forward, if I'm going to evolve and kind of survive and grow when Super has a hiatus, it's going to only be because I started watching the show when I did. I started doing this when I did. I met the people that I did, and I got the work ethic from the people that I met doing this when I did. And I'm excited about that. I'm also very saddened that a lot of people are probably going to drop off. And
Yeah.
That's in every aspect, content creators, audience, and everything else, and it's saddening. And that all of this, I'm rambling, I know, but all of this is just to say that it's emotion, it's pure emotion. But Dragon Ball Super, like you said, will always be the best part of Dragon Ball for me.
Well, I mean, that's emotion does have a lot to do with it. So it's like when I first started watching Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad, that's one of the best TV shows like of all time. Like that's literally in like so many people's like top 20, top 10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best TV shows ever created, and the writing in some seasons it's like spectacular. Like I think Ozymandias is one of the best pieces of television I've ever seen. My point there though is that obviously that blows super out of the water when it comes to writing, no question. And but the point I'm trying to make is that with emotion, you still feel something for that. Like when I'm watching the Breaking Bad season finale, like I get anxious. I don't know what's gonna happen, stuff like that. And with Super, even like I said before, GT and Z or or Dragon Ball, you could argue they're better told, they're more well written. That's fine, but it's like with Super, it will always hold a special place in my heart because of the emotion I felt watching it weekly to week. And then with you guys, so but that's it.
Yeah, no, I, I really like Breaking Bad too. I see this in this comment section. Someone said season 4 went bad, or Torybot said season 4 went bad. I like season 4. I know the neo Nazis seem like it's not really the best thing to go for or the best way to end it, but I think it really kind of came all together. And really, I think the neo Nazis were probably the best way to actually end up finishing the series because they were just so opposed to everything else that was going on. It Gus was good, but it was an interesting development, interesting evolution of the show. I keep saying evolution.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say something, but I don't want to turn this into a Breaking Bad discussion stream.
No. Actually, MJ's been telling me for a long time. He's been promising me for a long time that he would get caught up with Better Call Saul so we could do discussions over on my other channel, but he never has, so I don't believe him anymore.
I'll catch up sooner or later, but for the guy who mentioned that after season 4 went bad, I just want to say the one thing that I do agree with you on is that I do think the neo-Nazis kind of felt, at least it's not confirmed or nothing, but this is my headcanon. The reason why I like this so much is because if you go back and watch forget what episode it was, but it's the episode when Todd kills the boy right on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about the neo-Nazi and his uncles, and then Mike's like, it's nothing, just a couple of people in and out of jail. If it comes to it, I'll handle them, right? In a way that always mirrored what Walter was to Gus, in a way that they were just like a speck on the sheet to what their overall huge plan was. And there's no way someone like this can come in and just sabotage everything that this drug lord has owned. So when they came in out of nowhere, I always saw that as mirroring what Walter did to Gus. That's just my own headcanon, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like a villain you never, or someone coming in and posing a threat to you that you never thought would, But that's just kind of like my little.
But I think that's perfect. It's like everyone wholly underestimates everybody in that show. Like
exactly,
Gus underestimated Walt. Like everybody underestimates everybody, and so when they come out of nowhere, it just feels somewhat appropriate for the story. But yeah, this is not a Breaking Bad discussion. although that would be a really fun thing to do on the other channel. I gotta say.
Yes, guys, we do watch other anime and we do watch other TV shows that we love a lot.
Yeah, and so it's but with Super and YouTube and everything else like that, it's just this is interesting. This is just such an interesting development, and it's interesting to see people react to it. There's a lot of heartbreak, I think, tonight, where it's like, I don't want it to end. Like it just shouldn't end, and no one, we've been saying for so long, not just you and me, but almost everyone else is like, oh, Super is not going to end anytime soon. Of course it's not. That's crazy. Like they would be crazy, and it's just it doesn't seem to be the case. They really did. They really did end it. They really and I you know what, I'm gonna just speculate. I was telling you this back when these were big rumors. I think Toriyama just wants out. I know it's weird to say. I just think he wants out.
That could be it, but again, guys, don't take what we're saying here as fact.
No. All of this, like, none of this is fact whatsoever. I'm just speculating here. It's like, what do you like? What are your thoughts on that, man? Like, do you think it's possible or absolutely not?
I think it's possible, but one thing that I mentioned before in your videos is that I always figure that even if Toriyama wanted out, that Toei would just do what they did with GT and continue it, because with GT, they didn't really have much to go off of with Z, but here they have a lot to go off of. In fact, think about it. It was them that proposed the Future Trunks idea to, or the staff. Well, I don't know what that means. Whether that was the Dragon Room, if that was out back then, I'm not. I don't think so. But the staff supposedly, gave the idea to Toriyama, and he created the arc off of it. So it's like, I kind of just figured if Toriyama really wanted out, that Toei would just continue it. But
Well, maybe that's what this is, though. Like, although it looks like they're having a hiatus, it doesn't mean that they're not going to bring it back in some capacity soon, like really soon. Of course, this could really all just be like they want to bring it back with another anime, maybe. We don't know yet. There's absolutely no way of proving this. It's just kind of my own crazy thought. Toriyama wants out. They have the Dragon Room. They think that they can continue it without him, especially as I've argued before. I've told you as well. This is perfect. They're in a perfect position after Super, because Super creates like a whole world of possibilities. It's not like GT. A lot of people hate GT. A lot of people look at GT and think, okay, Dragon Ball itself cannot go on much longer. Like, without Toriyama, GT proves that. Like, Toriyama is the only one who can come up with stories. That's not fair, because after Dragon Ball Z ended, Goku had destroyed, or at least beaten, the most savage, strongest entity in all of the universe that was ever explored or was even talked about. And this is the gods of that universe talking to him. Like, this thing is the monster of the universe. Like, it can't be beaten. It won't be beaten. It's pure savagery. You can't win. Okay, we won against that. That being came back to life, reincarnate. I'm going to go train it, with Oob. And then they're like, okay, we'll take it up. We'll take up Dragon Ball Z and make Dragon Ball GT and do our own story. It's like, what did they have to go on? I'm serious. Like, there was nothing. There was absolutely no indication of what was going to happen next. And if you take it like that, if you think they had to come up with a completely original story, knowing that the last series had already capped off the entire show or the entire series with the idea that Goku just beat the strongest thing in the universe.
exactly, and I think Danny, yeah, there's a video on Danny's channel, because I was gonna give you the Kanzenshu article, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can go find in Danny's video where they talked about the production of GT, and he explained it. And one of the things there was that they wanted to capitalize on the new generation, like introducing Pan and going back to the roots, which is what they did. And that probably is one of the reasons what you're talking about. They had to like take time, and then they figured, okay, this isn't working. We need to just create a stronger villain for the sake of there being a stronger villain, which ended up being Baby.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you are right. Like, they kind of had to go back to their roots, and a lot of people found those few episodes boring, and the whole stuff with Goku and turning into a kid. Whereas with Battle of Gods, the movie, they shook the foundation of what Dragon Ball is. And once Toriyama introduced those other universes, that opened up a whole world of possibilities. And obviously, we saw Toei capitalize that with the bringing back of Future Trunks in Universe 10, and then Toriyama writing that whole arc out for him and stuff like that. So Toei has a lot to go off of, and we've done videos talking about how even this arc has kind of planted seeds, not only for a Planet Sadala arc or a movie, but have also planted seeds and subtle hints that maybe, just maybe, Jiren is not the strongest mortal in all the universes. Maybe the strongest in the lower realm universes, but not the other four. You know what I mean? There could hold warriors there that could pose threats to Jiren and Goku in the future.
Yeah, and that's the push and pull for this entire.
Exactly.
That's the push and pull. They, even if Toriyama wants out, he has created an interesting dynamic that will allow Toei, or like an interesting world and dynamic, everything that will allow Toei to tell great stories. And like you said, that was really well promoted back in the day, the whole Future Trunks coming back and all this other stuff. A lot of that story wasn't really wanted by Toriyama. If you look at the way the Tournament of Power is being presented now, it looks like this is exactly where he wanted to go next. after
Yeah.
the hit Chomp arc. It's just like we just can't go to a straight to another. It like doesn't it feel like this? And might be a really fun video. Um, it doesn't it feel like this, the whole battle royale situation? This is a completely different tournament than we've ever seen before, and all this other stuff. Can't you just imagine Toriyama sitting there going, I want to do another tournament, and they're like, we can't do another tournament. He's like, no, we'll do something different. We'll do like a battle royale situation where everyone's fighting everyone. It's just a free for all this other stuff is like, no, we need to do something different. Let's bring back Trunks. Okay, we'll bring back Trunks. and
Yeah.
and that's why that arc starts really well. But like a lot of people, believe this, and myself included, it just ends kind of like they keep going back and forth. They draw it out. Vegeta comes back. They nerf fusion. Like it's just weird. Like it's a weird dynamic, that entire arc. And it's very clear that Toriyama was told to write it. He was told to figure out a way to put it all together. And I think he did a commendable job, but it wasn't his original idea. And it'd be really interesting to see what someone could do if they were really more passionate about it than him. Like I said, that's just speculation on my part, but it just feels like he wasn't as passionate about it as he was for the Champa arc or even the Tournament of Power.
No, yeah, I completely agree. The Tournament of Power does feel to have it has something that the Future Trunks arc lacked. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure if it's charm or what it could actually be, but thinking about watching this arc weekly compared to Future Trunks arc, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand. I guess maybe because it looks better more consistently. I don't know, but it's like, I mean, the Trunks arc had a lot of well animated episodes, and people still to this day say 66 is the best animated episode. So I don't know what it is, but there is something that's different there. You know, like maybe the writing, but then again, it's not the Tournament of Power has phenomenal writing. So it's like, again, I don't know what it is, but there is something there. It feels different. You know what I mean? It's not the same, and maybe that is that Toriyama charm, maybe, or that or you know, that charm of making it feel like Dragon Ball. I don't know, but there is something different there.
I mean, yeah, it could definitely be the Toriyama charm. My argument really would be it's more so I want to be writing. Like Toriyama wants to be thinking about this stuff. You know, I think if they get here's my thought when it comes to Dragon Ball or any real creative property, honestly, is anybody can tell a good story on something that they didn't create. I am not a proponent that only the person who created the material can make a good story based off the characters and situations and just world that person has created. I'm not.
Yeah.
The only reason is, yes, the people who create them, the people who write them understand the world better, understand the characters better. And I think that's really apparent throughout all of Dragon Ball Super is Toriyama understands what Goku is, what Vegeta is, what this whole world and its characters are, even if they're not used very well. We've gotten some awesome Roshi moments. We've gotten some awesome Krillin and 18 moments. We've got all these other things, stuff that we can expect from Dragon Ball. And yet, we do have things like the Future Trunks arc, where, like I said, it might have been Toriyama coming up with the idea, but it didn't seem like he wanted to do it. He ran out of steam with it, and he didn't understand. He didn't know how to end it, and so they just kind of went back and forth until they ended it. My thought is you get someone on there who wants Future Trunks to come back. I think it could have been better. I honestly do. I think it could have been better to put, probably not Toyotaro. He's kind of shown himself not to be the greatest of storytellers. To me, I want your opinion on this, but to me, the manga just feels like fan fiction.
People who have people who have been following my channel for a while know that I do not like the manga. I've covered it here and there because there's some chapters that I found interesting, especially the beginning of this tournament or the beginning of the Universe Survival arc, excuse me, because of the changes he made. You know, like create that God Destruction tournament instead of this an exhibition match. So there were some changes that I found interesting, and I went back and actually covered it on the channel. But as far as just really enjoying the manga and like waiting for it monthly, like when the boy waits for that lollipop or waits to go get some ice cream after school. No, I don't. I find the anime a lot more enjoyable.
Mhm.
And you're right, there are a lot of inconsistencies. Here's one here. Okay, I may cover this in a video, but I'm gonna do it right here on the Real to Real channel. Here's one of the reasons why I really don't like Toyotaro, and the anime does this too, but I feel like he does it a lot more. He explains certain things that end up raising a lot more questions. Now, one of the issues that I have with this recent manga chapter, which if you haven't followed Herm's already, you should go do it. It's already up, and he's already done a summary on it. Is that there's a scene right where he creates this scenario where the elder Kaioshin and Shin do not know that Frieza was revived. They don't know Frieza was revived. They don't even know that ROF took place.
Uh-huh.
Now, see, I always thought that was an inconsistency when the movie and the art came out because, well, think about it. Think about it, bro. When you go back and look at how strong Goku was in the Super Saiyan 3, the Kaioshin realm, you could sense Goku there from Earth without even trying to sense him. He was just so strong that the power just flew over them.
Or
And
or or
ever
or or Boo, because when Boo became Super Boo,
yes,
he talked about he's like I've been basically watching you like Gohan is I've been like sensing you this whole time and I've been wanting to fight you. It's
exactly.
like, bro, like really? Gohan had no power. Like,
Exactly. And think about it. How many times in Super and in GT have the Kaioshins been presented to be the ones who feel the overwhelming threat of energy? They were there during the when Beerus woke up and fought Goku. They were present during the Universe 6 tournament because they were asked to go. They felt Murjimasu. They in GT he knew to go save Goku from Baby before Baby was about to destroy him. On Earth. They knew all that stuff, even with the Shinrons. Yet they didn't know Frieza was revived, even though Frieza's in his golden form and is supposedly god level. And yet this dude, Toyotaro, makes it even more apparent by having Weeks explain to him the whole plot of ROF. I understand why they did it because they skipped the ROF plot and the ROF arc in the manga, but there could have been another way for them to do it. And I thought that was just so dumb that he chose those two characters and made a plot hole even more apparent to the readers of the manga. And that's just one of my issues with him. That he tries to explain things and it ends up causing a lot more questions.
yeah, like I don't know. Like I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who do start focusing more on the manga than they have recently because it's just something to review and just content to put out there. Uh, Not that that's a bad thing. It's just I've always avoided the manga for the most part. I think I did it when I was very very new to Dragon Ball because at that point it was still ahead of the anime. But once we got to the whole Frost twist in the Champa arc and it got that episode itself, the Frost twist got ahead, and then you're like, okay, the manga, at least in my opinion, is useless at this point. Because
Yeah.
we already know how it plays out. It's just going to be a completely different iteration, and it's kind of it's interesting at times. Having Vegeta go Super Saiyan Red, having as you pointed out to me, I don't know anything about this. Maybe you could talk about it, but I thought was interesting is Gohan isn't wearing the same gi in the manga. Is that still true, or is that just like a?
Yeah. Yeah, he's wearing the Piccolo gi, or at least a variation of it. The reason why I'm saying a variation of it is because from what I've seen, I have not seen if he's wearing like the Piccolo shoes. All I know is that he's wearing the purple, dark blue outfit. You know what I mean? And I'm fine. I'm okay with it. I would have preferred if he had wore like the Saiyaman suit or the one that Videl gave him. And the reason why I prefer those is because those are at least his own gi. You know what I mean? That's his. You know what I mean? You can't take that from him. With Piccolo's gi and with Goku's gi, they're just variations of. I mean, they're basically just copycats of what they're wearing. You know what I mean? So I would have preferred if he had actually had the outfit that he used to train Videl in, or the Saiyaman outfit, because those are his outfits. That's his. That's his iconic outfit. And you can't take that away from him. So I would have preferred if they did that. But yeah, in the manga, he's wearing the Piccolo gi.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool, like because it does say a lot about you and I have It's funny because like you and I have done those discussions before. Where we did an entire discussion about Gohan's gi, and
Yeah,
and
and people
whether
hated us for it.
no, we got so much hate for that. It's like, wow, you guys are running out of discussions topics. But it's like, guys, like this is an anime. They only wear like so many different types of clothes, and what they're wearing at any given time does say a lot about their character. And I do think Gohan wearing his own style, even if it was just the tracksuit. I know you brought this up in that video. Even if it's just the tracksuit, it would have said more about him because it's like this is Gohan. This is what Gohan wants to be. This is how Gohan wants to interact, and this is what he wants to see himself as. Or even, but the best thing would have probably been his like no helmet, no nothing, no sunshades or glasses. I mean, and anything his Great Saiyaman suit, because everyone can sit around and bag on that suit and it looks so bad and queer and all this other stuff, but it's like that to me is one of my favorite Gohan outfits, my favorite looks. And I'm not ashamed about this. My favorite Gohan look is the Golden Warrior or whatever they're calling it, when he has his high school outfit on. I like him in the vest. It's cool. Like, he has those red or brown or whatever they are pants. And the vest. I don't know why. I just think he looks really good in that, especially when he goes Super Saiyan. I don't know if they've ever had that as an alternate outfit for him in a video game, but I really think they should, because it's always been one of my favorites.
I'm not too sure. I mean, the people in the stream can probably tell us in the chat, but yeah. See, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he, wears Goku's gi at one point. I love the fact that he even wore Piccolo's at one point. It's just like I said earlier, those gis, or I mean, excuse me, those outfits that he has, whether it's a tracksuit, whether it's a Saiyaman outfit, or even the gi, which is a variation of Goku's and Piccolo's that he wore when he trained Videl, those are his. That's what makes him special. So I kind of wish they would have just used those, but it's whatever. I mean, either way, they're both kind of appealing to his dad. If you get the joke.
Yeah, exactly. I think, gosh, Gohan is such a great. I think Gohan is such a great character for Dragon Ball. And I guess one question I want to ask you now that we're getting to the end, we have like less than 10 episodes left. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Now that we're getting to the end though, do you think that Gohan literally is going to be the person who wins this? Do you think it's possible for him to get a new power up, or do you think he's just going to be there for emotional support?
Well, the speculation now, because of the next episode preview, is that he's going to be eliminated in the episode coming up on Saturday. That's the speculation, because I think the title is like Gohan's Last Stand or something like that. I'm not too sure. I would like for him to win it. You know what I mean? I would like for him to win it, but the fact, bro, that this is gonna end like in what, 8 episodes, 9 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that he's probably gonna fucking, excuse me, he's probably gonna get dropped out in this next episode. I hate to say it, but he probably will be. At least realistically speaking. But of course, I would love to see him win it, but I don't think they're going that route, because think about all the stuff that still needs to happen. You need shirtless Goku. You need Vegeta's final last big moment before getting eliminated. You need Toppo's big moment. His power up, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot left to go off of, and I don't see Gohan really being a part of those last few episodes before the tournament gets wrapped up.
It's just weird to me because, like you said, we got like 8-9 episodes left or something, and we have to really start wondering: are they going to rush it? Because I know like this tournament has been moving at a snail's pace for a lot of people, but I'm wondering. Like, there's a lot left to do, and you also need a legitimate ending episode. You can't just end it at a tournament. I know most Dragon Ball things usually end in a tournament, but you can't just end it in a tournament. Like, we still have Bulma waiting to hear the news. Of course, I guess if they don't get erased, that she'll know. Like,
Yeah.
Then you also have like you have Goten and Trunks and Marin at that island they have to go pick up. I would be saddened. I know it's to the 10-year time skip. We're not going to probably skip at this point with so few episodes left to to the end of Dragon Ball Z. I've told you I want to do a video on this actually, but I've told you how I thought that they should end it. I think it's kind of an emotional. There's a lot of emotional weight there, and you even had your good points on that as well. But I really think that you have a chance to go back and have a very emotional ending where at least Bulma and Vegeta know, because Bulma knows. I believe she knows. It's been a while, but I think she knows the stakes that are involved right here because she was around when they were recruiting and trying to figure out whether or not they should bring Frieza in. So, if you could just have Bulma and Vegeta and Trunks and Brawl kind of be happy with each other, not saying exactly what they were fighting for or how they won or what Vegeta ended up doing or how he saved the day or whatever, anything like that. And then you have Gohan and Videl and Pan, who, Videl and Pan are just kind of clueless as to what's going on, I think. And then Goten, Goku, and Chi-Chi, just a nice group gathering. Maybe even, I know there's like a filler episode in Dragon Ball Z there where Goku is off doing his own thing, and he's I remember it was like Goku, he's off doing his own thing. He's trying to protect eggs or make sure eggs hatch, and he's doing all this other stuff. It's at the very end, and everyone else goes to a party at Capsule Corp, and they're all like having fun and like bonding and stuff, and it's something we don't usually get to see a whole lot in Dragon Ball. And it's like, even though that wasn't the end of the original series, it really could have served as one, because it was like everyone was together, everyone was having fun, and it just like the future is going to be bright and in a good place at this point. And that's the way I kind of want to see Dragon Ball Super end at this point. If it has to end almost immediately, I mean within the next 2 months, really, it's going to be really a sad moment.
I mean, we have spoilers going up for episodes 126. I'm not going to get into them because I don't want to make this a spoiler stream. But
Yeah.
with that being said, since we have spoilers all the way to episodes 126, what I think is going to happen, this is a prediction on mine. I think the tournament, the fights will be wrapped up by episodes 129. The fights will be wrapped up by 129. 130 will deal with the wish and the summoning of the dragon and whatever's going to happen there. And then 131 will be the last episode as far as like what we see, like with, Universe 7 and Goku and stuff like that. That's a prediction,
I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. And as I've said before, I really want how I would do it. I know they're probably not going to do this yet. I told you the other day, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, but years ago, I've had this idea for a long time. I just want them to go to the end of the time skip in those last 3 episodes and tell the story in between the events that were happening in those last 3 episodes. You know what I mean? Like, have a story that's focused around people related to or around Goku in one way or another, as he's made up his mind he's going to go train Oob, as they kind of brought up in the last couple arcs. Like, Oob is existent and maybe you should go train him, but he's not going to go train him. So we know that they're building that up, but just having the last episode or so take place in between all the events that happened in the last 3 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. So you don't have to reanimate it. You don't have to focus on Goku, but you focus on the people around Goku and them looking at Goku or something very, having their own little monologue, nice moment where he's symbolically affecting them or touching them, or you get to see how he's touched their lives, but he's not the center focus of the episode until probably the very end. But as you and I talked about, it'd be really cool to end it with Beerus and Whis as well. So it's like that's how I would do it. Make it canon, get us to the very end of Z, into the 10-year time skip, because that's where they set this entire series, and give us an episode that kind of interlinks with those the last chapter of Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z. And honestly, I can even see Toriyama doing this because he's such a mega fan that I think he would love recreating that moment, because I'm sure that moment, that like the ending of that series for him, was a really cornerstone of like his career and his artistic ability and all this other stuff, that he would like to revisit that and figure out a way to show what was going on in the background during those particular moments.
Bro, I would love that. Like we said, we talked about the other day. There's so much that they can do to make this ending like I really hope they don't mess it up because depending on how this ending is, it can be very emotional.
Yes.
One thing that we talked about is obviously what you said, the seeing end of Z from everyone else's perspective and kind of like go through those last couple of days or those last couple of episodes, excuse me. But I mean, even if they just did this, bro, you remember how when they were at Capsule Corp before Trunks left, right?
Hmm.
When Trunks was waving goodbye to them, and then Gohan showed up, and we got that little emotional moment between them. See, even if it just ends with like everybody at Capsule Corp having like one of those, like those family dinners or those get-togethers or whatever, what would even like just get me emotional, bro? And maybe this is because I'm just a huge Dragon Ball fan, but even what would get me emotional is like Beerus and Whis there. And Beerus and Whis are talking about how they never expected Goku to get this strong, and Goku's thanking them for for his training, and then he just like taps the ground, and Whis gives Goku that blue gi or something like that, kind of like the new gi, right? And then Goku's like, "What?" And then he like ties it up and like gets the little wristband to make sure he shrugs him like that, pounds the fist, and then they ask what he's gonna do if he would like to come train with them some more, and he goes, "No." He'll say it in Goku's way, his slang, that he thinks he's gonna stay here, and he looks over at like Goten and Pan and Trunks and stuff, kind of symbolizing what's gonna happen, like and how he starts to train Pan and stuff. And the reason why I bring that up is because there's this weird but very cool scene when you go to episodes 86 and episodes 80 no 90. So in episode 86 and 90, Popo makes this funny line where he goes, "You've been off in space so much you forgot what's here on Earth." When Dende remarks that 17's gotten very powerful,
Hmm.
and then when he's fighting Gohan in episode 90, he remarks, "I forget that I've been caught up in trying to find so many strong opponents. I forget that you're right here." And then him and Gohan clash fists, which I loved. But those are funny little lines to include. So I would love if that after everything that's happened in Tournament of Power, Goku just thinks to himself, hey, my family's right here and they're Saiyans. Just imagine how strong they can get. You know what, Whis? Thank you for all you did, but I'm gonna stay here with them. You know what I mean? I think, and obviously with Ub in the back of his head, I think that would even be emotional for me just to end it there, where he turns down Whis' training and just walks over to his family, and they do the zoom out, with everyone there and the whole Dragon cast there. I think that would be very cool and very emotional, and kind of teasing what is gonna happen in a Z. Obviously with Pan being as strong as she is as a little girl, and then him training Goten.
Hmm. And I would love that. When you break it down like that, I made this point a whole lot on this channel, and I know a lot of people don't believe me, but if Super's done one thing right, one thing, and I don't know if it was intentional. I would never argue that this was intentional. It's just the story that they decided to tell has really built up Oob in a very symbolic way. Frieza and 17, their reintroductions to the series, their immense power is amazing. And it's really helped me understand that Oob, even now, even with everything that they've retconned with what happened in that 10-year time skip and we didn't know about at this point, it still makes sense for Goku to want to seek out Oob and train him to be the best that he possibly can be. Because
Yeah.
Oob is just a monster. Like, he will be. Like, if Goku trains Oob, yeah, Jiren would cry. Like,
Well, see, that's the thing, and that's why I always say, I call you the Oob fanboy, but I mean, I'm just playing around. But when people ask about Oob, I try to send them to your videos because, yeah, I think people really overlook that stuff. Is that Super has been very subtle, but it's there. They've been building up Oob like in the background because of everything with 17 and everything with Frieza, and then those weird little lines like I mentioned for those episodes about how Goku's been so off in his own world trying to fight these stronger opponents from different universes that he doesn't know what he has right in front of his eyes, which is obviously Pan, Goten, Trunks, and then Oob, later. So it's like I would love for them to capitalize on that and Goku realizing, you know what, I can just stay here at home and I can train with my family and I can get stronger with them. So I would love that. That would be awesome.
and at the same time, we just have so much. I mean, even if, and this is a big if, they don't bring back all the universes, which with them ending, do you think that they're going to bring back the universes? I mean, come on. Like,
At the most, Universe 6, but excuse me for my language, but it would be a ballsy move for Toei to actually keep Universe 6 dead because, or erased, excuse me, because think about it. I mean, we talk about this show not having really any tension. I feel sorry for you, for all the hit fans and the comic fans that they actually keep them gone from the show. I mean, that would be, I don't see him doing it, but it would be a ballsy move if they did, to actually permanently erase them like that, like, because my prediction still to this day is Jiren's gonna win. Jiren's gonna wish back Universe 7, and then that's it. He's not gonna wish back the other universe. It's just Universe 7. That's like my prediction because of the respect that he gained for Goku and, wanting to see them get stronger, teasing maybe a future battle or something like that. That's my prediction. I've been saying that for the longest. And plus, it kind of makes sense because even as much as we love Super, they do a lot of cop-out stuff. And this is a Dragon Ball thing in general. They always do some cop-out in some way. And Jiren's wish, which everyone is predicting that it'll be something extravagant, something amazing, a plot twist. I think what's going to happen is he's going to say, no, I'm not gonna use the Dragon Balls to get my wish. I'm gonna bring back Goku in his universe, and then we'll never know what Jiren's wish is. It'll be the whole Dr. Rota joke. We'll never know what his wish was.
No, it's the exact same thing that Hit did. It's just like he doesn't want the only reason he showed up for. Like, he doesn't want the thing he only showed up to get, and it's only because of Goku. And it's just that overarching lesson every single time that Goku changes everyone that he fights. And they still haven't. I mean, you could headcanon this, and I really do, that Universe 11 still kind of conceives Universe 7 as a monster universe. Like, you guys are monsters. I mean, they came in here, Goku especially, is like, I want to fight. I want to fight strong people. I want to do all this other stuff. And then they just kind of sat around and watched this one universe systematically take out every single universe with no remorse either. I know a lot of the other universes besides people told me in our last video, Quitella, I believe you also mentioned that as well. Quitella, he was the only one who kind of went with like a still like a grudge, but
yeah,
he is Universe 7 to used to at least Jiren and them fighting for justice must look at Universe 7. It's like, gosh, they didn't give like two thoughts to destroying all these universes. Of course, that's the rules and all this other stuff, and they haven't played off of that. I'm just looking at this as a fan, as like a person who wants to see all these things that really aren't there in Dragon Ball. I interpret it, like Universe 11 looks at Universe 7 like, man, like, we went out of our way to like kind of keep out of this whole nonsense, and we didn't want to be the cause of destruction for all of these other universes because we fight for truth and justice and all this other stuff. And that's not just, but this Goku guy like, this Goku guy just doesn't care. He goes off and he takes everyone out. Of course, like, that's all their fault because they all took, like, Goku really didn't challenge many people. Everyone went after him because of how the Tournament of Power started. And to me, that's a really interesting story dynamic. It's like Goku fought because Goku likes fighting and everyone challenged him, and everyone looks at Goku like a monster every single time he wins, but he's just winning. Like, he's just abiding by the rules.
Yeah, and it's kind of stayed like that because at first it was the whole oh, he's the cause of this, he's the cause of our universe being destroyed, let's go after him. But then after a couple episodes, one of the Kaioshins blatantly stated as not. He gave you guys a chance. So it went from that dynamic to the whole, oh, Goku's the strongest guy on the team, because they didn't know what Jiren could do at the time. He's the strongest guy on the tournament, let's take him out. You know what I mean? Where people like ganged up on him and stuff. So they were always against Goku at one point in this arc. And you're all right. That's an interesting dynamic. He didn't really challenge anybody except for Jiren. So.
Oh yeah, he was Goku.
He was trying to challenge Jiren every time
Goku had a hard on for Jiren this entire time. Like, he ignored Hit. He ignored everyone else. He was just like, I want to fight this guy. Like, he didn't care. This is a guy who quite recently, within the last year, at least in his time, I guess in our time as well, had hired this guy to come out and fight him. like,
Yeah.
so like he was really into fighting Jiren, and he obviously showed it, and it's crazy to think about, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, I don't know how they're gonna end it. I think at this point, you and I just did a very long discussion about it. I think at this point, Jiren has to win. He's just. I think if they're going to end it in the next couple episodes, Jiren has to win, because I just don't think, my personal opinion, what we've seen thus far, how much they've already grown, they can grow to a point to beat Jiren and have it matter, have it mean something, have it feel genuine, honestly. And if Jiren wins and he just decides, like, I'll just use my wish to bring back Universe 7, and it's like your thing is like you can only bring back Universe 7 or something. You can't
Yeah.
bring back all the universes. You can only bring back one universe at a time, or whatever it is. They bring back Universe 6, or they bring back Universe 7, and then, to me, you have a nice little ending outro that happens right after the tournament takes place. And because you have Vegeta with that, like, okay, I want to bring back Universe 6, I gave him my word, all this other stuff, maybe then you have a jumping off point to the next series, if they do a next series, where Vegeta finally gets back to Beerus and Whis is like, bitches, we have something to do. Like,
Yeah.
I have a goal in mind, and we need to get it done.
I mean, Super makes a lot of money, or Dragon Ball in general makes a lot of money, so it'll probably come back in one shape or form. And there's a lot of story to go off of. They have those four of the universes. They have the idea that maybe Vegeta and Goku go get the Dragon Balls themselves. To wish back Universe 6. Without Zeno's consent. Well, either way it is, they have so much to go off. And the reason why I bring up Universe 6 is because they have the Planet Sadala arc to go off of. So there's a lot of stuff they can do there. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be, honestly, I think that's what's. I can guarantee you this, man. I think after the series ends, and if they don't do it, which the whole Planet Sadala arc, in quotes, I think if that's the last episode, I think a lot of people will be really happy. But I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to hear for a long time until the series comes back. Is that's the one thing they kept promising and they never gave. And it's weird that they kept promising it,
Yeah.
Like, I could see that being. Can you see that being the last episode? Is like Goku and Vegeta go to Planet Sadala?
Oh man, I don't know about all that, because that's like one of the Walking Dead cliffhanger. Indeed. I would then be blue balled, because I would want to see them actually. I'm sure if you noticed, but in the recent manga chapter, they actually brought up the king, and his name is King Sadala. So the whole King Vegeta, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Situation there. So I thought that was kind of funny. So he's king. He's king. King Sadala is the king of Planet Sadala. So I thought that was kind of funny. So.
I I just think like that might be a fun. I know it might be like that might be somewhat of a cliffhanger ending, going to simply Planet Sadala, having Vegeta have his moment, having Goku have his moment, almost being honored as heroes of the Saiyan race or something like that. I'm gonna say, like, I think that would be a satisfying conclusion, something that we are not really thinking about, honestly. And Goku and Vegeta probably winning the Tournament of Power, bringing back Universe 6. Kaba's like, I need to take you. He's like, Master, I need to take you and everyone else to Planet Sadala. You need to be honored as heroes as you are. And you could teach like so much about our own race and yada yada yada. And this is silly. Like let's take that and let's do like a New Hope ending where like Goku and Vegeta and Gohan like are walking down the road, like walking down the aisle, and like Planet Sadala, like King Sadala like gives Goku and Vegeta medals, but Gohan doesn't get one, and then it just ends.
Oh man, I would love that.
You tell me that would be awesome, even just for like a fan. And like, oh, that's kind of nice. Like they're well recognized, and I have to say, I'm gonna be really 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 upset if their king isn't like a Goku lookalike, because of the whole thing, like just bring back what Kappa said at the beginning of the Champa arc when he met Vegeta, or actually fought Vegeta. He's like, "You remind me of our king, and he's like a real noble man like you." And I just imagine like having a quick like flashback to that, where Vegeta's just like he remembers Kaba saying that, and him getting all the pride in himself, and then this like guy looks exactly like Goku. Like,
Mhm.
I can
I would
imagine
love that.
like the vein in his forehead, just like, ugh.
I always had this funny theory for like how they would do Planet Sidala, like how they would actually go about it. And obviously they would meet the king, they would regroup with Kaba. Kaba would show them around, right? But I always imagined them landing like on this festival day. And because of the way the Saiyans dress, even though they're evolved, I kind of always pictured. And please, guys, don't whine about there being another tournament. There's been tons of tournaments in Dragon Ball. Each major arc was a tournament in Dragon Ball. So, so I think would be funny is if they showed up on this festival day where they do like competition, like Gladiator in Rome and stuff like that. So they show up there and you have like Goku wanting to compete and stuff, and they do the teasing of like Goku versus Vegeta. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen because they got picked to do it, like to go up in battle. And obviously Kappas and Cauliflower are like, oh, you know, they mark out, they want to see this fight. But then of course that's the actual battle that gets like interrupted. You know what I mean? The actual tournament. Everyone's wanted this tournament to get interrupted, right? I feel like that would be a cool way to do that, and you get the Saiyans just side by side to fight like a bigger threat. That was always like my little fan theory on how they could have did like a funny, wacky idea with Planet Sadala.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like them kind of dressed in the whole
Yeah.
Kaba outfit. Can you just imagine like Goku and Vegeta dressed in that outfit, and like Vegeta is like taking it really diligently. He's like very prideful of being in that outfit. For Goku's just like, this is not my style. Like, and it was like, you know, it's a little too constricting and it's everything. And like they're just sitting there and they get ready and they both go blue and we just cut to black. That would be a cool cliffhanger. Like, oh crap! Like that would be like a flip my desk. I can't believe they end it there situation.
Mhm.
But
But at the same time, it's wacky, which is Dragon Ball, you know.
yeah, and we talked about this before. It's like the only fight, and I still stand by that. It's like the only fight that really matters, honestly. You know, we all want to see like Goku versus Frieza round 3, or Jiren round 2, or Beerus round 2, or anything else like this. But that fight, Goku and Vegeta fighting again as equals with their own unique transformations or something. It's just that would be cool. Like I have to say that would be really cool. I would love it.
No, man, yeah, of course, I would love it too. It's God, like I said earlier, there's so many ways they can end this series, and most of them will be very emotional for me. But I don't know, man. 131 is gonna be really interesting to watch. I'll tell you that
Mm,
much.
I completely agree. Oh man. Anyway, you know what, man? I think I'm just gonna end it here. Uh, this has been like a really emotional and real talk. Real talk, guys. Like this has been really like emotional day for me. Obviously, 15,000 subscribers today. The news breaking about Dragon Ball Super ending, which, as I already said, I'm sure MJ, if you want to talk to this a little bit as well, like you know the amount of confidence Super has allowed us to, you know, find in ourselves. Just covering
Yeah,
it day to day, week to week, and all this other stuff, and people not only gravitating towards it, but following and watching and listening and sharing their thoughts and opinions. It's crazy, and it's sad to see it go. Even if it will be replaced by something, you know, it's never gonna be Super again, probably. So, I mean, anything you want to say about that, like you know, the series ending and just like how it's affected your YouTube life or just your life in general?
I mean, bro, I'm already kind of getting. I can't even imagine because I'm sure we'll probably do like a stream or a video, you know, after 131, and I can't even imagine how I'll be doing that. Right now, I'm already kind of like, so it's helped a lot. Like obviously, geek nerd growing up and YouTube being a platform where I could, you know, just kind of voice my opinions on stuff. And I got to meet a lot of cool people, and my channel's obviously grown. And I've even subscribers, I've met a very good amount of just awesome people who I follow, and they follow me on my Twitter because these have been loyal subscribers. And I mean, not much else to say, man. Super is really something that helped me grow as a person, and I will probably be nostalgic for it a lot. You know what I mean? Like, again, you can say the show sucks all you want, but it's like, you know, you know how Danny and everyone, when he gets on podcasts with like the older people and they talk about the nostalgic era of them like ripping like Dragon Ball content off tapes and watching it like in these horrible fan subs, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like even before like the Toonami days of the dub. It's like I'm just thinking in my head like that's probably what this will be for me. I'm gonna be looking back at this on a very nostalgic way, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that they'll probably come back, and we have the movie to look forward to, the games and all this other stuff. But I'm really hoping that at the end of the day, it has a decent ending, and you and I will continue, like we said. I hope a lot of other people will continue. And the one thing I have to say, because I know a lot of people, I was in y'all's shoes a while ago, a couple of years back, that when you look at Dragon Ball, and when you look at the community here, and you listen to myself, you listen to MJ, you listen to Danny, and everybody else. There's a lot of people out there who think, oh, this seems fun. I want to do this. Like, I feel like I have something to offer, or I want to talk about what I like and what I'm passionate about. And I was saying this the other day on Twitter. I completely believe it. If you want to do Dragon Ball related content, if you want to do any related content whatsoever, go on here, make your channel, and just do it. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, especially at first. You can do it pretty cheaply, and it will teach you so much about yourself that you never really realized that you were capable of, or that you thought you could do or would have so much fun doing. And it doesn't matter that Super's ending. It doesn't matter if you wanted to do a Dragon Ball content channel and now Super's ending, so you don't feel confident in doing that anymore. If you want to get involved in this, if you want to do a YouTube channel in some regard for whatever reason, do it for yourself. Don't do it for money. Don't do it for fame. Don't do it for anything else. Just go for it.
I totally agree, man.
Make the channel, make the channel you want to make. Do the content you want to do. Talk about what you want to talk about. And as long as you're consistent, because that's what YouTube likes, is consistency, you'll realize that not only is it fun, you'll meet amazing people that become your real life friends, and you'll realize that it becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes like a way of life, and you want to interact with people, and you find so much more confidence in yourself, more so than you've ever imagined was possible. Because that's me, dude. Like, I'll share one real story here. I've said this before, I think in a live stream before, but I just want to reiterate myself here because I think it's important. When I first started YouTube, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I had a nervous twitch about it. I couldn't speak, dry mouth, overheating. Like, I got like feverishly hot in a room trying to talk to myself. I just felt like the weirdest, dumbest, like no one was gonna listen. I had nothing to say that anyone wanted to listen to. There was already so many people doing so much better content than I am. All this other stuff, all these excuses, and physically making me ill. And I'm not joking. And I put out my first video. It didn't do very well, but I kept doing it. I met Nathan at Frozen Particle, and he was, at that point, Nathan had like 400 subs. It's like, oh man, you're a huge YouTuber. And it's funny. I joke about that with him sometimes from time to time. But yeah, he's like, he gave me confidence to keep going, and that just snowballed. From there it was Donnie, and then it was Dino, and then Danny, and then MJ, and Kanji, and Dimsy, and all them other, and everyone else, and it just snowballed into this like community group, people who you believed in and people who believed in you, making you do all this stuff. And then that really, I never realized that it lassoed its way into my real life. It really gravitated. It wasn't just being able to sit in a room and talk to a mic, or being able to talk to a camera, or anything else like that. It was really changing my attitude. Like, I've always been afraid of public speaking. I've always been afraid of people judging me and all this other stuff. And I was dreading in law school. When you're in law school, you have to do this. Everyone does legal research and writing, right? And you have to write. You have to write a memo, and you have to write a brief, and all this other stuff. But uh, the second semester, everyone has to do it where you have to write a brief. It was around a 20, 30, I think mine was like 25 pages long on a case, and you had to argue one way. And as part of the grade, I knew this going in, but as part of the grade, you have to get up in front of your professor who's going to judge you and ask you questions on this paper. And that, to me, going into law school was something that's like, I am a mess. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm dreading this thing that's a year away because I can't talk to people. Like, I'm going to freeze up. I'm going to fail the class because of this. I'm just not going to be able to do it. And when it finally came time, and at that point I've been doing YouTube for about a year and a half, but when it finally came time to do that, I got up there and I didn't smash. I wasn't great, but I have never been able to talk. I've never been able to stand straight and look at someone in the eye and just talk to them. Like, this is what I looked like. This is what I just spent a month writing 25 pages about this case. I know it backwards and forwards. And I'm going to sit there, look at you in the eye and do this. And I did that. Like, I was there. He congratulated me. He's like, you were like really prepared for that. You were doing all this other stuff. You made great eye contact. You had great speaking skills. You had answered every question right. All this other stuff. And it's really all because of YouTube, because that stuff gave me the confidence to sit there and be confident in my own perspective of the world. And the way I approach the world. And it was that much better, man, because this girl, and she's a friend, I felt really bad for her. She just cracked under that pressure, man. Like, she couldn't answer a question and stuff, and she was my rebuttal. So, like, she just cracked under it, and I was just like, oh man, it's crazy. So it changes your life in a lot of ways. So if you want to do a YouTube channel, please do. I support everyone who wants that goal, because heck, I've been in your shoes before.
Listen, guys, here's what you got to do. If you have a PC, Audacity's free. Use your built-in mic, and heck, Hit Film Express, Windows Maker, those are all free. Again, Hit Film and Windows Movie Maker, those are all free programs. Audacity is free. If you can't afford a microphone, use your built-in. You're good to go, man. And even if you don't have a PC, do what Dr. Love did for the first portion of his YouTube career, and that was do videos off his phone. That's right. Did a lot of streaming off his phone and also actually recorded videos on his phone. I would have to ask him what programs, but I'm sure you can find them on your own. There's really no excuse, guys. You can go out and do this. And if you really want to get your opinions out there on whatever it is, wrestling, movies, TV stuff, Super or Dragon Ball in general, or even other anime, just go out there and do it, man, because it really can help you evolve for the best.
I agree. I completely agree. And I guess we're just going to end it there, guys. I'm going to put MJ's link in the description section below. You guys should know who MJ is if you follow me and are part of the 15,000 army right now. So, no, seriously, I think I think this has just been a really special stream at this point, guys, and I hope everyone has had such a, it's going to be an interesting 2018 without Super for some time. I know we're getting the movie, so we're going to have some kind of Dragon Ball. We don't know if we're getting a new show yet. Like we've said, MJ and I aren't going anywhere. If you're worried about that, I hope you, as as a fan or as someone who likes the content, isn't going anywhere just because there's no show. We will evolve and find other interesting, cooler ways to talk about Dragon Ball that we haven't thus far, because we don't have the show coming on every week to give us that content, to give us those discussions. So I'm going to leave it there. I really hope everyone's had a fantastic day. I've had an emotional day in a lot of different ways, and it's, every day has to come to an end at some point, but we have to keep moving forward. So I love all you guys. I love this channel. I love YouTube. I love MJ. I love everything that made this possible, and I'm so grateful every single day. If you're listening to this, and you know what, I'll do this right now. I'm gonna email everyone who, or get in touch with everyone who won the giveaway back in December about fighters, and we'll work that out in the next couple days in order to get you that game as soon as it comes out in the easiest way possible. So, guys, I hope everyone, like I keep saying, likes, comments, subscribes, has a good day. It's been real.